Hi everyone, Warren from Excel Employee Leave Tracker. Today I'm going to show you some techniques I use to perform data analysis on reports created in Excel. Once you start using some of these methods, you'll look like a rock star to your manager. If you like this video, please click on the thumbs up and subscribe. So the first technique I'm going to show you is the data validation or drop-down menu. As you can see, I have a sample database with names, base of operation, job title, and salary of employees. What if my manager asked me, Warren, I need a copy of all the names of the employees. However, you may need to add new employees at a future date. The easiest and most common way to do it is just copy and paste and submit the list to your manager. But there is actually a more dynamic and easier way to do so. The best thing to do would be first change this database into a table. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to highlight all the names, but you don't really need to do so. In fact, let me show you the way that's most preferred. Just ensure that your cursor is inside the data source. Go to Insert, Table, and now you will see the dancing ants. However, I don't wish to include the name or this row data source. So I'm going to actually change that. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to start it here with the titles and bring it all the way down to the last name. I'm going to click OK or the Enter button. And I'm also going to ensure that my table has header, has a check mark next to it. And the headers were the names, base of operation, title, and salary. I'm going to click OK. And now you can see that this is a table. And one of the indicators are you'll see filters and alternate rows are different colors. Now, if you don't wish to have the filter in alternate rows with different colors, you can always change or delete those. So to change the filter, you would just go to Data and click on Filter. And to not have alternate color rows, you will now see a new drop-down menu called Table Design. You want to click on that. And Table Styles, you want to go all the way to the right and you'll see a drop-down menu. And we can actually change the colors, but we want to make this clear. And you click on Clear, and now the table looks very similar to what you had before. You can always tell if it's a table also by looking at the bottom right hand corner of your data, and you'll see this little indicator right here, and that will tell you it's a table. Plus in the table name you'll see a table name. Now let's do the drop down list. So here I have a tab that I'm going to give to my manager. And I want to have drop-down lists for each employee. What you're going to do is going to go to Data. In the Data Tools, you're going to go to this little icon with the drop-down, Data Validation again. You're going to change the Allow to a List. And the source, we're going to go back to our sample data. But what we're going to do is we're going to hit this little up button. And now we can go back to the different tab, to the sample data. And we want to highlight all the names. Click enter or press enter and then press OK. Now in cell A2, you'll see a drop-down menu. And let's make this a little bit bigger. And now you can select each different employee. If you wish to expand this list to different cells, we can then click or right click on the mouse, copy, and highlight the ranges that we wish to include. Let's say we want to go to 10. Right click on the mouse button, go to Paste Special, and then change it or click on the little radio button from all to validation, and then click OK. And now we have drop-down menus. Let's click Escape for all the rows that we selected. So now we can do Bruce Wayne, we can do Richie Rich, we can do Tony Stark, Lex Luthor, Oliver Queen. But here at 11, we see that there's nothing there. And that's how we can create a dynamic name for, or drop-down range for all the names. In the next example, I'm going to show you how to create a pivot table. Now, a pivot table is very powerful because this is where you can manipulate the data to fit your needs. To insert a pivot table, we'll make sure that our cursor is within the data set that we wish. We'll go to Insert, Pivot Table, from Table Range. And as you can see, we have the dancing ants. I wish to include the row names. So what I'm going to do is just highlight everything again. Go to the end. And now it's going to ask where to put this pivot table. Do we want to do a new worksheet or an existing worksheet? So I already have a worksheet that I wish to have the pivot tables in. So I'm going to hit the radio button for existing worksheet, and we're going to go to the up button in the location, and we're going to highlight the tab, pivot tables and chart, and we're going to highlight cell A1. Hit enter and then hit OK. And now you'll see all the different cell or columns names that we had in our sample data. Name, base of operation, job title, and salary. So let's click on name and see what happens. If we click on names, only the names will appear. If we click on salary, only the salary will appear in our report. And if we want all, we can click on all. And now the pivot table breaks it down by the location and their job title for each person. If you wish to have it in a different format, or you don't wish to have all the column labels in, you can just uncheck, and then you can actually move the column names into a different format. So if you wish to show the location base of operation by columns, you can now have it in columns. So it's a way to, again, manipulate the data to best fit your needs. Now let's say we like this format, but we don't like how salaries are showed. So all you have to do is go in or place your mouse cursor in the cell that contains the salary. And we want to do right click on the mouse and do number format. We want to now change this to currency with the dollar symbol, American dollar symbols located since I'm in the United States, and click OK. And now all the cells that contain salaries are formatted in American dollars. I would recommend that you change the design of the pivot table to tabular just to make it easier. So you would go to Design, Report Layout, and Show in Tabular Format. Again, you can play around. You can add more data if your data set has it. And you can, again, this is a great way to show just the information that you need to show. The fourth tip I'm going to show you is to include slicers in your pivot tables. Now, slicers will also help you with analyzing your data by making your data more dynamic so that your manager or yourself can only pull in the information that you require. So this is an extra step to make it very customizable. So what you would do is I would just ensure that your mouse is inside your data, and underneath Pivot Table Analyze, you will see Insert Slicer. Now you will see all the different column fields that we have. I've added an extra field called Hire Date, which I'll show you a little bit different later. But let's say you want to pull out employees' names, their salary, and let's do base of operation. Click OK, and now you will see 3 different menus that pop up that you can organize to your desire. Let's just make this a little bit more presentable. There you go. So now let's say you want to highlight, or if you're doing a presentation and you want to highlight Barbara Gordon. If you click on Barbara Gordon, only her information will appear. So you don't see everyone, but you only see the person or the name that you highlighted in the name slicer. Say you want to find out all the employees that work in Gotham. So if you click on Gotham, that wasn't a good suggestion, but let's do it this way. If you want to do, there you go, that's what I was supposed to do. I'm sorry. So to show Gotham, we would had to have cleared the data in the name. And the way to clear it is to click on this little icon here. So if we want to see all people who work in, say, Chicago, now Chicago shows up as the base of operation. So this is the active slicer. And again, if we want to clear all and see all employees, all you have to do is click on the clear filter. So if we want to, let's use this as let's use another example, a salary. If we want to see how many employees make $500,000, we have two people, Luke Cage and Susan Storm, and they are based out of New York City. And again, if we want to clear this, we can just use the clear filter. If we want to use multiple, say we want to find out who works in Chicago and Westchester, what we would need to do is let's clear this one more time. We would need to click on this multi-select. So now let's clear this. If we click Chicago and Westchester, it didn't seem to work. Let's do that one more time. Let's do Chicago and Westchester. Now we have two people who work in both locations. So again, slicers are a powerful tool that you can use to help define and focus on specific information in your database. The last tool that I'm going to show you is the Analyze Data icon. Now, if you have Microsoft 365 or a later model, I believe it may be on Excel 2019, you'll see this Analyze Data on your Home tab. Now, this icon actually lets Excel perform all the data analysis for you. So let's try this out. So let's place our mouse or highlight a cell within our database, and let's click on Analyze Data. And the Analyze Data automatically provides us with charts and stats based off what Excel found. So let's look at this Discovery Insight, salary based off operation and name. It'll provide you with a quick pivot table, and it will say insert pivot table for you. So you can click on that. And then it will also give you base of operation. Lavaria has notably higher salary than anyone else. So this is a call out. And you can actually insert that pivot table or a pivot chart. So basically, the Analyze Data will actually perform all the data that I just showed you, or all the steps I did show you, but it will show you all the highlighted or what it deems is important information that you may want to that it wants to point out to you. So if we scroll down a little bit more, it provides us with a bar graph. And if we click on here, there's actually 13 results that it actually was able to extrapolate. So we scroll down even more. I think this is the last one, salary by name in millions. For job title CEO, base of operation, Gotham has a noticeably higher salary. So let's click on that just to see what it looks like. Insert pivot chart. So it provides you with a chart and the actual pivot table right here. So if your manager gave you a data set and asked you to find relevant or important information out of it, instead of you creating a pivot table, you can just click on the Analyze Data and it will perform the steps for you and pick out the highlights. So these are some steps that I use within my day-to-day role. that hopefully you'll find helpful as well. Thank you and have a great day.